So, so there are a lot of times there's certain perceptions and misconceptions that people might have about you, when it comes to these types of things. And I speak from the standpoint of, being a career person, or having this or that, or displaying certain things about your lifestyle, or your life, or whatever, that people look at, and they make certain assumptions, or they have certain perceptions or misconceptions about you, or whatever. And a lot of times that manifests itself in the family dynamic and the
Right.
friends dynamic, right? People who are closest to you,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And you know, you can be fairly successful. You can be very successful,
Yeah.
but still have struggles, right?
Yes. Yes.
And you know, and a lot of times those struggles, you can't account for them. They just happen. And sometimes those struggles are because of sacrifice too. You
Yeah.
know, and people. But I think a lot of times, especially with people who are closest to you or who know you, family and friends, but who may not necessarily know all the inner workings
Right.
of your situation, and how you do things, the things that drive you, the things that you have going on in the background. A lot of times that can, you know, it causes misconceptions and perceptions, and it can sometimes cause people to form opinions about you,
Right.
thinking that they know certain things,
Yeah.
or just making assumptions based upon what they see, or drawing conclusions
Yeah. That's the thing. Drawing conclusions.
based on limited information that they may have.
Right.
And so I think that's important, because over these many years, I think to that saying of the raps, I think it was Jay-Z that said it, when he say it's levels to this, right? Said in hip hop, it's levels to this, right? The same thing goes with people. People who are successful, people who are semi-successful, who are doing something with it, however you want to characterize it, right? A lot of times people will look at you and say, "Oh yeah, such and such and such and such got a good job.
Right.
They got this, they got that. Oh, you can do this, or you living in this or living in that.
Right.
You should have it, right?"
Right.
But what they don't see is all the other stuff going on behind the scenes, like some of the
exactly.
things that we just described.
Right.
The financial obligations that you have, the commitments that you make to certain things.
Right.
Not only your own situation, but causes. You may have causes out there that you support. You may have kids that are not your own that you're putting through college,
Yeah.
funding scholarships,
Yeah.
making donations here, giving time here and there, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You have medical situations that you deal with, which for us is huge,
Yes.
right? You got medical costs that you got to maintain. You have apparatuses and machines you got to pay for, medications you got to pay for, this imaging test,
Yes. A lot.
and people don't see
They don't.
that stuff. That all of that goes into the equation.
And some people don't try to see it either.
Yeah,
They just
all they see is they think you making a certain amount of money,
Right.
and you doing, oh, you got this kind of car, and I think that's another reason too why as I get older, I pull back away from that material thing. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like people will, and a lot of people are driving cars out there that can't afford them,
I just
and
personally,
not necessarily in a good
I
position.
just can't. I just personally don't want to spend a lot of money for a car that
Yeah.
I barely even spend an hour in there.
Right.
To me, it's just not. And the insurance on it, it's just not worth it.
Yeah.
To me personally.
Yeah, but it causes people to form conclusions.
Yes.
When you're carrying this bag, you're wearing
Yeah.
this, this
Yeah.
outfit, or you're
Right.
driving this car, you got this watch on your wrist, you're wearing this piece of jewelry, blah blah blah. You
Right.
live in this community, stuff like that.
Yeah.
It can just be a drain on you, because people don't see that it's levels to this. Like P Diddy said, more money, more problems back in the day.
Right.
The
Yes.
more money you get, the more problems you get, because Uncle Sam comes calling, he bend your ass over every year. You got tuition to pay in lump
Every year.
sums. You got the HVAC unit that's went haywire in your crib, and they tell you it's going to be $1,200 here. $800 here, unexpected.
Electrical stuff with the light. And you
You
gotta
know,
pay a couple hundred
all
for
kind
that.
of crazy
Stuff
stuff,
adds
man.
up,
And
you
people-
know. Yeah,
People don't see that.
They
They
don't
only see
that.
that you got a job, so you should be able to afford to do this for me or that person or whatever. You know, when, you know, fact of the matter is you have your own issues. You got your own family issues to deal with, you know, and it can be a drain. And then aside from the fact that they lose sight of the fact that when you are a career person, right? When you're an entrepreneur, that's one thing. But when you're a career person, or let's just say entrepreneur, even if you're making all of your money off of, let's just say, investments and stuff, you're not going out there. Your money is working for you. That's one thing. Now, fortunately, we have both situations going. We invest, but we're also career people. But when it comes down to the money that you make off of your labor, right? That's however much you get paid every 2 weeks. You divide that by the number of hours or your salary, hourly or whatever, or how many hours you work. That determines how many hours it's going to take for you to make a certain living. So that $2,000 equates to so many hours of your life that you have to give up in order to get that $2,000. So same thing goes to when you have to recoup that. So when that goes out unexpectedly and you down that much now that means this is how much time you have now got to put in order to get that. And so people don't think about the sweat equity that goes in to making that money. And that's time that you don't get back. That's time that you don't have with your kids, that you don't have to do this, don't do that. You're putting wear and tear on your body and your psyche, putting you one step closer to a stroke and high blood pressure and all that kind of stuff. And see, people don't think in those terms. No. And there's a lot that goes along into that, you know, in order to have that. So it goes far beyond just, oh, such and such got a good job, or they got this career, they do this for a living, or, you know, whatever. Right. You know what I'm saying? And I think people should have to do a better job of understanding that. And that's why, you know, like we were speaking to previously, that I've always placed extreme focus on being as independent as possible. Right. So that we don't have to burden anybody else. Yeah. Because I know what it takes, you know, to achieve or to pursue, you know, a successful path.
And sometimes it takes making sacrifices to be able to put yourself in that position to not have to depend on someone else or to have to go and ask someone else for anything, so that you're in the position where you can have it for yourself. Right. Which is why we continue to make sacrifices and constantly assess our own situation, so that we, God willing, not having to go to anyone to ask for anything, because we know and understand everybody got their own situation and may not be in a position to help you out, and we don't want to put someone in that position to be having to even feel as if they have to.
Life is tough for us all. Life is tough, and we know that we don't really have a safety net. We don't have anything really to fall back on. It's on us. Yes. You know, and I recognize that long ago. I don't have a problem with it, and so I'm committed to making sure that I do my part to make sure that I keep us afloat, and you know we go at this thing the way that we do.